Hi guys, CityScapes here, and welcome back to episode 36 from Verville. Right here you can see our work from the last 3 episodes. We finished up this whole new city district, which is called the Vierdicon district. Maybe I need to mention again that this whole project is based in Europe, Switzerland, and more precisely the main city of Verville is heavily based on Zurich. But the goal of this whole Verville series is more like capturing the general vibe from Switzerland and try to cram as many aspects of that into this City Skylines map here. So it's actually pretty similar to what $2.20 is doing with his Marble Mountain series. He's also trying to represent as much of California on that map as possible, and we are kind of doing the same thing here, except for Switzerland instead of California. But let's have a look at the area where we are building today. Okay, so for orientation purposes we move the camera upstreams to the area we're gonna tackle today, and yeah, it's in general this whole area here right now on the screen. I think the main part is that we're gonna completely rebuild the train station here, as well as the line between this station and here, so this section. For that I have to delete a lot of stuff. That's usually the case, but the cool thing is when you try the second time or even third time, it always turns out better in City Skylines, so stay tuned for the end result. I'm really happy with it. Okay, so rebuilding the station here, and the train line, this train line here, I'm gonna make it a bit more curvier, something like this, to really justify the high-speed rail we have over here, because this is way more straight, so the trains can go faster, and yeah, the longer and more inconvenient this train line here is, the more justification we have for the high-speed rail. But yeah, it's just gonna look really nice when the train is wiggling its way around a really hilly landscape. I'm also gonna change the roads a bit in here, not necessarily the layout, but I subscribe to the McWelshman roads and they look way better than what I currently have here. Also rearranging the farmlands here, or yeah, completely rebuilding them actually. And something you won't see in today's episode is my whole terraforming work, because that took a really long time, and I think I'm gonna show it together with a project I have planned for this area here. I'm gonna build the Riggy Mountain together with a really nice funicular. Yeah, so I'm trying not to spoil that too much. But yeah, I'm just gonna make a smooth incline maybe until to this point with the terrain, and then it's getting way more steep, and the mountain itself is gonna be quite tall, because in real life the Riggy Mountain is around 1,800 meters tall. Yeah, so the area is gonna change a lot, but it's looking really cool in the end. As for the highway, I had to dismantle it until to this point around here, and it will go through a tunnel and all the way over here, but let's talk about that in the future. These taller industrial silos and whatnot, this is also going away. I think it's not really fitting the area anymore, and I hope this doesn't come as a shock to you, but this whole suburb here will also go. And I'm gonna talk about the reasons for that just in a bit. I already talked about that I plan to build the Gotthard mountain rail, and for that I wanted to detail along the train rides, just for a nice experience. I really try to find the balance between efficiency and detailing, because you cannot have the whole train line perfectly detailed, that would take forever. So I try to focus on certain parts, and obviously the train stations are such a part. And that's the reason why I started off with the train station here, dismantling it and completely rebuilding it. The other reason for that is, before Revo told me about that really cool railway tutorial, I was actually satisfied with how this station looked. I'm gonna link that tutorial, and this really opened my eyes. I learned that I messed up quite some things with the railway replacer mod. I didn't use the segments correctly, and you're gonna see that you're actually seeing that right now on the screen. I'm laying down all the tracks, and I just didn't use the node and nodeless segments correctly. But I'm not gonna explain it how it works in detail. For that, I'm gonna link the railway tutorial video. It's really good. I highly recommend checking it out if you build or if you want to build realistic railways as well. So yeah, starting off the station, making it way more detailed and taking inspiration from real life counterparts. And that's also the reason why I wanted to rebuild this whole suburb here, because I didn't really take any inspiration from anywhere in Switzerland. And that's probably the reason why I'm not really satisfied with the looks of it. I mean, it looks nice-ish, but not too realistic. It's way too high density, and I actually want Verville to be the high density part of this whole series. And besides Verville, I just want to have some smaller, low density villages and just rural areas. For that, we're gonna take a lot of inspiration from Google Earth. I didn't do that in the beginning in episode, what was it, 5 to 8 or something like that, when I was building this suburb. I only started heavily using Google Earth a couple of months ago. So yeah, the more time you spend on Google Earth and really dive into the details of the layout of these villages and whatnot, the better you can build the stuff in this game. And that's basically what I'm doing these days or weeks. I'm not sure how long it will take. But I also try to make it not too high detail, because it's not too much of a vocal point here. Also, a thing with this whole idea of this Goldau mountain rail is that it's such a large-scale project that I cannot really focus just a really small build and building that, making the episode out of it, recording the cinematics and whatnot. Now it's way more jumping from one point to the other. A lot of these areas are connected to each other. For instance, I had to do all the terraforming for the map first and laying down the whole railway from Verville to the actual Gotthard tunnel way up in the mountains, because I wanted to have the inclines right. So it's a little bit below 3% for the whole rail tracks. And this determined how I should do the terraforming around it. So a lot of thinking and long-term planning was involved in that. And yeah, I guess you can see that that's the reason why it's not really possible to just focus a nice small build and just detailing a little city district or whatnot. So yeah, this episode and probably also the coming ones are not too well structured, but I thought I'm not gonna wait until I build the whole thing and clogging up my hard disk with tons and tons of video footage, and then I'm not really motivated to scrub through all that footage and put together a super nice, well-structured episode. I'd rather just show you the process at the current state, where it is right now, what my current thoughts about it are, and I hope you don't mind that. I hope you enjoy that as well. Yeah, so the basic trade-off is you get a bit more content, a bit more videos, but a bit less structured and not like super cool cinematics from a perfectly high detailed build. Yeah, for instance, today it's more like an overview about the whole area and what we built today. But I personally really enjoy doing the videos like that, because especially with not very thorough commentary throughout the whole time lapse, I really have the motivation to show you what I did very quickly. I don't have to wait until I get the motivation to talk about all the little things I'm doing right now. For instance, I mean, right now I'm basically just laying down all the tracks and lining up the nodes perfectly. I mean, what are you gonna talk about here? It's pretty self-explanatory what I'm doing here. But anyway, this has been a really long introduction into this video. Actually, it's almost half the video already. So I still want to show you quickly where I got the inspiration from and how it looks in real life. So here you can see the Art Goldau train station, and as you can see, it's a fork station. We have this really cool aspect that the train platform on one side of the station is nicely curved, and this whole thing gave me the idea of taking inspiration from Art Goldau to this suburb here. And another fact is that Art Goldau lies on the route to the Gotthard mountain pass, so this also makes perfectly sense. And that's basically when the idea emerged to change the whole suburb to a Art Goldau inspired suburb. I'm just gonna call it Goldau from now on because it's a little bit shorter and easier to pronounce. But yeah, so I have been talking for quite some time now, yeah, now I'm running out of words, so I'm just leaving you with the rest of the time-lapse footage, and I will talk back to you in the end of the video. Enjoy! Okay guys, so here I am again. We're already at the 18 minutes mark, so I'm almost wrapping up the episode already. Right now I'm working on that railway section between two stations I was talking about before. And as you can see, I deleted that industrial buildings, these grain silos and the upper farmlands. And I'm just laying down these McWelshman UK rural roads, and they look absolutely fantastic. I really love them. They come a little bit pre-detailed, so that's really nice. I have to do a bit less work. And in episode 34 I also discovered these profile slope surface thingies. They are really cool to create these kind of hillside landscapes. But I need to figure out a way how to detail them a bit more, because they look very plain, I would say. Maybe needs a bit more textures with some decals. I have to figure that out still. And if you are wondering what that massive concrete cube is doing back there, it's just hiding that funicular build I was spoiling already. Not quite sure when I'm gonna release that build, because I have to do some custom assets for that. But what I can say is that in the next episode, episode 37, we will work on detailing the Goldau station and make it completely functional. And if it's not too much, maybe we will also see start of the overhaul of this Goldau district. I really hope you enjoyed today's episode from Verville. I wanted to thank my 3 patrons, Jason, James and Han. You are awesome guys. Other than that, the usual, like and subscribe if you haven't already, become a member of my Discord server, join my Instagram, and I am really looking forward to see you in the next one.